Hi, it's Sebastian from the Metal Gods Meltdown, and today I am joined by.
Hi, I'm Peter Julsgaard from Advocacy from Denmark.
Congratulations on your recently released album. First up, can you give us some of the ideas and inspirations behind the album, The Path of Decoherence? If I said that right.
Yeah, sound pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, in general, it's so the name is a little bit of a pun on the fact that we didn't have like a central idea binding all the songs together. It is somewhat a compilation of stuff we've been working on for a long time, and also some newer songs.
Mhm.
Some of the songs, Deranged and Cut Loose, are older than my time in the band, from when our vocalist, Søren, was, was the only one in the current lineup who was in the band at the time.
Mhm.
And some of the songs are newer compositions. Star Formation I wrote during my first half year in the band. Leap of Faith is one of the guitarist, Peter, also Peter. He wrote at least most of it before joining the band, and then and on and on and on. And the intro number is the other way around. We wrote that during the recording process as a. It was originally going to be an overture over all of the songs, but turned into not quite, but close to an overture. And then, of course, we worked on everything, trying to get it together and have a common vision for all of it. But it's very much like a representation of everything we've been doing as a group together, and also a bit apart up until now.
It's a stunning debut album. I mean, how pleased are you with the reviews from fans and
Very
media?
pleased.
Yeah.
Very pleased. The response has been uh, overwhelmingly positive for, well, a debut album for a relatively small band from a relatively small country.
Hmm.
And I mean, of course, it's not for everyone. We do play a slightly niche genre of metal.
Yeah.
Um, and one of the common, both criticisms and praises, is that it's very much a musician's album, which I understand. That makes perfect sense. But in general, it's been overwhelmingly positive, and it's been a pleasure every time we get a new email saying there's a new review.
Hmm. Excellent. So can you give us some insight into the album cover? Do you plan to have that framed on your wall at home?
We're definitely planning to have it framed at some point. We have the artwork in a high definition on several hard drives, and we're just kind of waiting around to get it printed in large format. So basically, we're just shopping around on the internet, looking at different artists, different rates, what fit within the budget,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and because I mean, one of the things we discovered is when it comes to album artwork, you can chuck as much money as that as you want. There is no upper limit to how much it can cost. So we're trying to be a little bit economic with it as well. And then we came across this guy, Disturbing Grace designed, Ivan from Mexico. He contacted us and said, "Hey, I can like do a custom job for you. You can look what I have in my portfolio."
Mm-hmm.
We checked it out, and we're considering getting a custom job. But he had the front cover and the back cover with the, which we like to call the exploding Earth and the melting Earth.
Mm-hmm.
He had both of those in his portfolio, and we're like, that actually, we like that a lot. That we felt that fit the music a lot, because a lot of the themes are, like, for example, Star Formation is about the end of the world and rebuilding after that, and there's a lot of like dark times, and then rebuilding after dark times is a general theme throughout many of the songs, and we felt like that worked very well with the front cover being the end of the world, the earth is
Yeah.
cracking, and the other side is after the crack and things have settled down and life starts trying to rebuild again.
Yeah. Excellent, man. It is absolutely stunning. I want to go back to the music though. I mean, all the songs will be your babies, but which is your favorite track on the album today and why?
Oh, that is a great question. Uh, For me, it would probably be unnamed. Uh, it's just it contains so many different things, and a bass solo, which being the bassist, of course, is a little typical. But it like it had. I really think that Søren knocked it out of the park with the vocals on the like the pre-chorus and also on the chorus. Like, so we've got a pre-chorus that's kind of has these soaring vocal melodies. The verse is almost Alice in Chainsy at times, and then he actually manages to take this bunch of halfway tech that I wrote during my master's thesis and actually made a hook out of the chorus. And I found that very impressive. But also has some quieter passages, and then it has this psychotic counterpoint. Can't remember which minute mark it starts, it heads in, but where like the harmony gets thrown out the window, and then we get to a 7/8 part where everything just gets super difficult to play while Andreas plays a drum solo over the guitars.
Cool.
It's a blast.
I think my favorite is actually Prayer for the Reckless, but yeah, it's all
Yeah.
a stellar album, mate, honestly.
Yeah, Prayer for the Reckless is definitely a really good, like, probably a little bit more hard rock, but it's, yeah, it definitely slaps.
Yeah, definitely. So do you have plans for tours and festivals for the year? Anything lined up yet?
We've just been, as in 2 days ago, it's been unveiled that we'll be playing at Næstved Metal Fest, which is one of the larger heavy metal festivals in Denmark.
Right.
I think it's the largest on the island of Sjælland. There aren't any particular tours in the calendar yet. We're working on finding formats that also make sense economically.
Yeah.
As you may very well know, due to the cost of transportation following, well, Corona and all the shit that's happening to the east.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten a lot harder to actually to just make ends meet with it. So we're looking at how we can get some tours both in Denmark, but also we want to get out of the country.
Yeah.
Like some tours into Germany, see if we've been looking at how cheaply can we get to Britain and mess around over there. Can we go to Poland, Sweden?
Yeah. Britain would be amazing. I mean, you're not that far, really, are you? From the northeast.
Yep.
That's where I am. You never know.
So it's what, 2 hours in a plane?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's not too
Back
bad.
in my student days, plane tickets used to be dirt cheap. I don't know how it is anymore, but
yeah,
we'll
definitely
definitely
not too
be looking into it, trying to see if we'll be trying to looking like see if we can find, a more local band, like, I don't know, a Scots or a British band that would be willing to do a small tour of Britain with us, and then we'd get them over to Denmark and do, I don't know, Hamburg, Aarhus, Copenhagen, Stockholm, stuff like that.
That'd be amazing. So, have you been out on tour much then as a band, or has it mainly been studio work?
We've, especially last year, we had quite a few concerts. Not a concentrated tour as such, but a lot of one-off shows throughout the country, mainly in the region where we come from of Jylland. But we've gotten recently we got over the bridge to Copenhagen finally, and started branching out a bit more. But had quite a few gigs, but not days upon days of touring.
So, who'd be your ultimate band to go on tour with then?
Oh, that is a good question. I mean, for me, Haken is definitely headlining.
That'd be amazing.
Yep. Leprous would also be cool to bring along, although I would prefer it to be a Leprous. I think it would fit better with Leprous 6 years ago. But yeah, them headlining, I don't know. There are so many good ones. I recently got introduced to someone called the Anchorette.
Right.
They'd be cool to drag to go along with as well. They're a bit more experimental to their sound,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that'd be cool. Or else, like, grab some of our associates from Denmark, Apathist, to do like some stellar, more a little bit more traditional thrashier stuff, or Etre from Copenhagen. They've got some great prog as well.
Brilliant. I mean, but Denmark does seem to have quite a good metal scene, actually, doesn't it? Doesn't seem to be too bad.
It's definitely growing. There are some interesting, slightly local differences we find, like with Jylland being more predominantly death metal, like old school death metal oriented. If you
Mm-hmm.
can play if you can play wannabe bowl thrower over here, you're pretty well set. Where Copenhagen tends to more towards a more modern core based approach. And then once you reach up towards Aalborg, then they're like very much into thrash and stuff like that.
Cool.
But it's definitely thriving.
I think it is. Yeah, it seems to be quite a few festivals and that going on over there, and quite a few bands. What album first introduced you then to heavy metal? Do you remember?
So I grew up on a diet of Queen and a single Garth Brooks live album. And so here
Right.
we're still in like classic rock, and for Garth Brooks it was
Yeah.
like country, but the
Mm-hmm.
live album had, a bit more guitar, a bit heavier drums to it. And then one day after school I'd have been what, third grade?
Mm-hmm.
And I was 9. One of my friends was like, "Hey, you gotta hear this," and that was "Bullet for My Valentine's," "Hand of Blood,"
All right.
and like
Brilliant.
the guitar sound on that, and I mean that was like super early noughties.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I can't remember if it was an Andy Sneap production, but it might as well have been like
Yeah.
massive wall of sound with Mesa Boogie amplifiers. That just got me hooked, and it was all downhill from there.
Brilliant. So if there was a heavy metal song, made up heavy metal song about yourself, what would it be called?
You're probably wondering how I got here, and so do I.
Brilliant. My Belgian friend likes to ask this of musicians a lot. So if you were a musical instrument, what would you be?
Uh, hmm.
Yeah.
A multi-scale bass guitar, because I've got a hell of a long neck.
Right.
And some people would also argue that I'm a little bit strange.
Aren't we all, mate? Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, then. So going back to the album, are you due to be releasing any more videos or singles or anything?
Not, we've released the singles for the album that will be coming. We might at some point do some more videos for it. Depends on the footage and whether we find it useful.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be trying to get some footage from live shows, and we might do a belated music video for one of the songs,
Right.
cut together with clips from live shows. But there's nothing particularly theatrical scheduled.
Okay.
That would be for the next album.
Right. So are you already? I know you just released this album. Are you already in the form of writing? You got to get
Yeah,
ideas.
I mean we've got. I think we have probably around 6 or 7 songs that are already finished.
Cool.
And one of them we've started rehearsing. So, I mean, we've got finished songs, and then we start rehearsing them, and then we write on them as we
Mm-hmm.
rehearse, like figure out which parts work, which parts don't, which songs are good enough for the album, which songs aren't. So, yeah, we're definitely already in the process.
Okay. So then next one, can you give me 4 words to describe your band?
The band. Experimental, melodic. I would like to say catchy, though I'm not entirely sure that is true. We can put catchy in quotation marks,
Yeah.
and we're not that odd. Fast enough.
Grill. So it's now 5 fast questions. So the first one is vinyl or digital?
I do love having physical media,
Mm-hmm.
but personally, I usually buy CDs because I don't have a vinyl player.
Right.
But I like having like an artifact in my hands that
Yeah,
I can have on my shelf. But for all practical purposes, digital at the highest resolution.
absolutely. Merciful Fate or Volbeat? Volbeat.
I mean, yeah. I'll be on the Volbeat train there. I really like their older stuff. They got a bit pop for my taste, and that's all right. I mean, it's clearly working well for them. So, and if they ever want us to open for them, then then I'm an opportunist enough to say hell yes.
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
Uh,
So hot dogs or beer?
Beer.
Right. Festival or small
No
intimate
question.
gig? Absolutely. Festival or small intimate gig?
Uh, That's a good question because both really have their qualities. I mean, some of the festivals we've played have been the best shows ever because the crowd is wild and everyone's just ready for a party. But like the smaller gigs, you get like up close and personal with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I just speak as a enjoyer of music in general, then I will go smaller gigs.
Okay, brilliant. And the final one is Lego or PlayStation?
Lego.
Yeah, great answer. All right, man. I want to thank you so much for your time. Do you have any final words for your fans, our viewers, and listeners?
Um, Listen to weird music. There's a lot of good shit hiding around out there that you might not find. Uh, Find a bunch of friends who like weird music and give you recommendations all the time, even when you don't ask for it.